Who is every NFL team star player that's most likely to completely fall off this season? Let's go team by team and pick one player out of every team's 53-man roster who should be worried about having an awful 2025 and changing the course of their career. Before I dig in, this is not me predicting that any of these players are going to fall off. This is me just saying these are the players in the worst situations that should have the most ants in their pants to have a big year this year. Or it could change careers. Let's start in Tennessee with the Titans, who have gotten really young. You could have said D-Hop a few years ago. You could have said King Henry a few years ago. You could have said A.J. Brown a few years ago. I think the guy who needs to have a big year or else is actually L'Jarius Sneed. He's bouncing back from a rough year last year in his first year with the team. Leaving the Kansas City Chiefs, he's got to show that he is that level of cornerback and that it wasn't all Mike Spagnuolo. He's completely healthy now. L'Jarius Sneed needs to have a big year. For the defending champions, the Eagles, they already have so many injuries and so many players. A.J. Brown brought up again. Jordan Mailata. Devonta Smith is banged up. Even Landon Dickerson's dealing with something. But the guy who's already injured, who I'm telling you can get hurt this year, is Dallas Goedert. The Eagles were already willing to trade Goedert. He's one of the guys that's been in and out of the lineup over the last couple of years of Eagles dominance. And in the Jalen Hurts era, he just hasn't been used like he was back in the past. He hasn't lived up to the potential that Goedert showed very early on in his career. If he doesn't make it happen this year, he's not even going to be a trade candidate. He's going to be a cut candidate. For the Seahawks, it was hard to choose. Cooper Kupp, someone that everyone obviously looks at and goes, hey, if you don't stay healthy and you don't play well, bro, it's done. But I think, honestly, deep down inside, you look into the soul of Seattle Seahawks fans, they got to be worried about Kenneth Walker. And it's not Kenneth Walker's talent. This guy has the talent to be a top 10 back in the NFL. Guaranteed. We don't even have to argue that anymore. He cannot stay healthy. And then when you have a running back behind him like Zach Charbonnet, who can do it in all facets, in my opinion. He may not be the pure, straight down the line, hand the ball off, and go make people miss running back that K9 is, but he's a very good rusher with similar speed, maybe a little bit more size. Way better pass blocker than K9. That's not even close. Way better receiver when we talk about pure receiving back, running routes out of the backfield. I don't know, if Kenneth Walker can't stay healthy this year or just isn't as good as Charbonnet, the Seahawks should just switch and start building this rushing attack around 26. In Cleveland, there's a bunch of mysteries. Joe Flacco could fall off and open the door to their four-way QB competition. We could talk about Myles Garrett falling off after the big payday, although I doubt that's ever going to happen. The real one that's make or break this year is Jerry Jeudy. This dude has been maybe the most inconsistent player in the league. He's shown flashes of top 10 talent and then shown flashes of don't belong on the field talent. Jeudy with Cleveland so far has been nothing but outstanding, but with Cleveland's roster in so much flux, it's make or break for him this year. For the Saints, it's their entire offense, but I'm going with Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara's been in the trade rumors recently. Honestly, I think the Saints would rather him have a few big games early on in the year so they still could trade him possibly at the deadline. Bears, it's Cole Kmet. And I don't think Cole Kmet's a bad tight end. I think he'll have a great career even if he leaves the Bears. They drafted a future phenom, a future top receiving threat out of the tight end position in Colston Loveland. And yeah, not the blocker that Kmet is. We aren't in the league that we were 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Loveland is the new Jimmy Graham, just watch. And if Kmet can't prove that this is like Isaiah Likely / Mark Andrews duo and be on the level of Mark Andrews, see you later, Cole Kmet. I think Colston Loveland's going to take that job in 1 year. For the Miami Dolphins, Tua has hit the end of his ride. This is not the best Dolphins roster he's played on, but they have fielded the best roster that they will put around Tua. And very similar in Dallas. I don't think they'll be as quick to pull the plug on Dak. I think Dak will last 2 more years in Dallas. I was going to say 1 to 2 more years, probably 3 more years in Dallas. But this offense is so stacked, especially in the passing game. You have to play like level Dak because they got guys chasing him down for his job now. And the Chargers are next. But first, if you guys never met me before, hi, I'm NFLMike. I'm a Chargers fan, but also a die-hard NFL fan. And what I do is I make daily NFL content so you can follow all 32 teams across the league and be as big an NFL fan as me, but also you spend all day, 8 hours a day looking into it. Basically, I allow you to still be an NFL super fan while you do what you do, which is what I do. So please help me do what I do, which is help you do what you do and keep up with the NFL by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and turning on notifications. For the Chargers, I absolutely hate saying this as I'm wearing this t-shirt. I can't say Quentin Johnston's gonna fall off. He never fell up. And I don't think Keenan Allen's gonna fall off. But we cannot expect the same Keenan that left the team. Keenan left the team per game coming off of one of his best statistical seasons. He's not going to have a 1,200, 1,300 yard season, guys. He's not going to have 8, 9, 10 touchdowns, guys. Especially when you talk about how much depth the Chargers have at wide receiver. We have multiple young receivers chomping at the bit to get out there. You still have Quentin Johnson, who's dealing with a concussion right now. You have Ladd McConkey. They added Tyler Conklin out of the tight end position. They drafted another tight end. We added Amari Hampton and Najee Harris to our backfield. I'm just saying, statistically, there just isn't enough stats to go around to Keenan's way for Keenan to have some kind of crazy numbers this year. And people are going to say he's falling off, even though he's going to contribute in the blocking game of the rushing attack and in the receiving game to open up other receivers way more than anyone is going to realize. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, that defense is going to get substantially better if Jalen Ramsey can play anywhere near close to his prime or transition to safety smoothly and play that position for them. But if he can't do either of those things, and we see the same shades of, banged up, battling with injuries Jalen Ramsey that we saw in Miami, it's not going to work out, and this is going to be his last run in Pittsburgh. For the Lions, Aiden Hutchinson's coming back from a major injury. That thing's split in half. He's not Alex Smith. He's not Dak Prescott. He is an edge rusher. He has to go out and play the strongest players week in, week out. We got to see how that leg looks, especially early on in the season. Then for the Giants, it's no surprise. Jackson Dart is chasing down Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, the most likely player to fall off if he hasn't already fallen off completely. I will say I'm a little worrisome for both Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau's job security, although I think the Giants want a three-way pass rush with those guys, Abdul Carter, Thibodeau, and Brian Burns. I don't think the Carolina Panthers believe in Xavier Legette hardly at all. They've added a bunch of receivers. They just drafted another receiver in the first round. He never really broke out, but it's make or break already for 17. Hopefully he has a good old season. I wish great luck to the Buffalo Bills and Joey Bosa. I hope the fall off isn't coming or already happened. And in Jacksonville, it doesn't seem like Travis Etienne is going to hang on to that starting role very much longer. Question is, he's going to completely fall off and fall out of the picture behind the guys like Tank Bigsby behind him. They just got another rookie in there who's very impressive in the preseason. Or is he still going to be a key member of this offense as a receiving threat? Because Travis Etienne is still a very good player out of the backfield as a receiver. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy as a pure 3-down running back. I think Josh Jacobs and the Packers, he's reaching his wear and tear limit, and I'm going to actually say this is the only player that I predict will slow down a lot out of this entire list. The other one is Travis Kelce. Completely unbiased pick. He's already slowing down a little bit, but maybe we could see some of these other tight ends get work in there. And hopefully they aren't as good. Speaking of tight ends, it's also Kyle Pitts' last chance. And this Deebo Samuel experiment in Washington could also completely succeed. Take their offense to another level. What they wanted Austin Eckler to do for them last year, or completely fail like Austin Eckler did last year. You're taking the chance at workhorse players like Eckler and Deebo Samuel to stay healthy on the tail end of their work. For the Ravens, Ronnie Stanley's body's been barely hanging on by a thread for his entire career. I know he just finished his first full 17-game season, but man, how long can the Ravens continue to have that spot be in flux around Staley? Unsure if he's gonna be available or not. One more injury, or if he starts to slide off now that he's getting older and he could be out of there for Baltimore. I am so for another hamstring pull for Jonathan Taylor, or a high ankle, or any type of minor tweak to him that causes him to miss time, because the Colts got to be getting tired of it. They're paying max dollar to the running back after fighting with him to get that contract, and now he just can't stay on the field. To me, it's Troy Franklin's season in Denver. Courtland Sutton's no longer a top 32 wide receiver in the NFL. I think his fall off is coming statistically as well. And you go to the New England Patriots. This is a team that I think could one day pair the Diggs brothers together if Stephon Diggs works out with Drake May, which I think he will. But I think this is the most likely player to fall off because this team is so young. There isn't that many people to choose from for this category that even qualify. Diggs' last chance to prove that he's still got some gas left in the tank here. Speaking of last chances, if the Arizona Cardinals don't win games this year, if they don't make the playoffs this year, I don't know how you can keep fielding Kyler Murray. You're not making any progress. I love Aaron Jones as a person, as a player watching his career, but I just think that the Vikings picked up Jordan Mason because they want to get more downhill, more north than south. So that way when teams load the box or teams try to stop the run, they can go crazy these wide receivers. But I think the goal is that if you go out and you double up Justin Jefferson, they're going to hand the ball straight up the middle. And Jordan Mason is more built for that than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is more of a receiving back. He can be a pure running back, and he's been that in the past, but this could be the year his stats start to fall off a lot. Did Joe Mixon already fall off for the Texans? They've got backs waiting in line. And another guy whose body's hanging on by a thread is Matthew Stafford. Please, Matty Staffy, get healthy, get out there. We want to see you finish your career on your feet, bro. For the Bengals, I had a weird choice to make. I don't think any of their offensive players are falling off. You could have argued that they're offensive linemen, but none of their offensive linemen were really up yet. They're still trying to figure it out. I think the player most likely to fall off on the Bengals is ironically the one that might not play. Trey Hendrickson was the sack leader last year. I don't think it's going to be possible to lead the league in sacks again if he's holding out. Now, if he gets traded to a new team, I may have to reassess this take. And for the Bucks, how the hell is Mike Evans going to have 1,000 yards receiving again? I know he's their #1 receiver, and he probably will be until the day he retires. But you got Emeka Ibuka there now. Chris Godwin's healthy. Jalen McMillan's coming back. Trey Palmer's coming back. Kate Otten out of the tight end spot. Oh, did I mention? They still have Bucky Irving coming out of the backfield, who's just a stat monster. There's not enough ball to go around. You got a lot of mouths to feed in Tampa. I don't think Mike Evans is falling off at all. But one slight injury, he's not going to have 200-yard games to keep this 1,000-yard season streak going. For the 49ers, I think Trent Williams is nearing retirement. And for the Las Vegas Raiders, it was kind of an easy choice. The Raiders still need a QB. Why do they keep going to other teams' backups and thinking that's going to solve it? The Patriots backup Jimmy G. Jaguars backup Gardner Minshew. Now we're going to the Jets busts. Longtime Chargers backup Geno Smith. I think this is the year that Geno gets re-exposed for being the bust that he always was. And he doesn't even make it through the season. And for the Jets, Jets, Justin Fields has to make it happen this year. He needs to be the franchise quarterback of the Jets or forever probably a backup. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my most likely players to completely fall off this season. Again, these are not predictions. This is just one player from each roster whose season has higher stakes than the rest of his team. Let me know some of your takes in the comment section below and react to some of my takes. And again, if you're an NFL fan, I know you will love these videos. I know you will love the daily NFL content I bring to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Make sure you like the video. What's going to happen for all 32 of these players who are having some high tension seasons this year? I guess sooner rather than later, the ball definitely won't lie.
Kicking it off with NFLMike. Yeah, get ready to ride. You know that numbers and ball don't lie. It takes talent. Yeah, you gotta have luck for the game. Super Bowl to Hall of Fame. Touchdown. I hope that you got your head in the